Hello everyone, welcome to a new reading video. Today we are doing an individual reading for Shownu to celebrate that his birthday is close by and also to celebrate that he's back from the military. I was very happy to see him since he looked very happy to be free once again. And I think I saw a video of him dancing when he got out of of his military service, and I was like so happy to see him. Like, it's one of those times that I was like, I didn't even notice I was missing him until I saw him and went, he's back. So we're doing an individual reading for him. I think I've only done one reading for Monsta its member, and it was just what kind of leader Shownu was. So, by the way, for new people here, in his individual reading, we're going to check 4 different sections of, I guess, his life, which will be his current energy, his career, his love life, and then any healing messages that come through for him. And with that said, in the description, I will leave the timestamps below in case you want to skip into, like, I guess, different sections. But if not, we will start off with his current energy. And let's figure out what is shown as current energy. We have the Wheel of Fortune reverse. We have the 8 of Cups upright. And we have, like, Page of Cups reverse and the 4 of Swords upright. So he's going through it. He's currently kind of going through it. Oh no. Anyway, so we have the Wheel of Fortune reverse, meaning this is Jupiter energy. And this kind of shows that he's finding it kind of difficult to overcome a chapter in his life or ending a journey or some project potentially. I think this is actually a cycle in his life. He's finding it very challenging and difficult to move on from this or to finally close it or break free from this cycle. So the Wheel of Fortune talks about, of course, abundance and good things coming into your life. But when it's reversed, it could be talking about how you may feel a little bit out of the flow. You may feel out of your element or feeling like destiny is not, or the odds are not in your favor. So with this card right here, it kind of shows that right now Shownu's current energy, he feels like things are a bit of a mess. Things are out of his control. He feels like he doesn't really know where he's going or where he's headed. And he may feel like he's reaching the end of a cycle or reaching the conclusion of a chapter in his life, but something is not really working for him. And he's finding then a bit of difficulty to get closure on something, and that could be because he may have to walk away from it. So here the 8 of Cups usually talks about someone that has to walk away from something that is not serving them, something that doesn't bring them the emotional satisfaction that they're looking for, and they have to walk away from this situation or this idea or this stage in their life. Like, they just have to walk away, and it will be a road with these mountains in the background symbolizing that it will still be challenging and difficult, but if you follow the light of the moon or the moonlight, which is supposed to represent intuition or the unknown or the subconscious, if he were to follow his heart, if he were to follow his intuition, he'll get a better idea of what is the right path for him, or ending in the right place or ending in the right situation that he wants in his life, even if it's still a bit of a challenging journey. But there's a sense of having to walk away from something. I'm actually kind of leaning towards taking a bit more tarot cards, but we're still not done. We have the Page of Cups reversed, so clarified by the 4 of Swords. There is a chance that right now he's taking a break from healing, or he's taking a break from his emotions. And the best way I can explain this is that I think he may have gone through a chapter in his life that was bringing him a lot of emotional distress, in the sense of he was connecting a little bit more with his heart or paying a little bit more attention to his emotions and diving a bit deeper into his emotions and his heart, to his subconscious, to the point that it was becoming a bit exhausting and a bit overwhelming. Having the courage to look at something that needed healing. This is something that I want to talk about, and I'm glad it's kind of coming up, because I kind of had this realization that a lot of people say healing is very rewarding and very nice, and you should kind of strive for constantly healing yourself. But sometimes it is scary to even start thinking of healing, because one of the things about the healing process is that you have to kind of face head on the thing that makes you feel pain. You have to address the problem, and the first way you can do that is by acknowledging it. And sometimes healing can be challenging because you have to look for what's wrong or look for the problem and be like, okay, what is actually bothering me? And other times, the thing that makes healing very challenging is acknowledging that there is a problem, right? But that's usually the first step to be able to solve it. Now, the healing process, the only part that is rewarding is when you're coming close to the end of it. To some people, it can be very satisfying when you've figured out the problem, and to other people, the actual happiness of healing is when you actually have healed from it. And it's kind of when you found a solution to that problem, or when you have finally allowed yourself to let go. And I'm talking about this because he got the Eight of Cups. So if he's breaking free from a cycle, the thing that could have been very challenging that he wants to take a break from right now is acknowledging that something was not working out for him. Having the courage to say, I don't need this in my life anymore. I don't want this in my life. And this Page of Cups reverse kind of shows that he doesn't feel, again, I see this red string and I'm thinking of wearing off evil spirits or getting rid of negativity, but I'm also thinking of the strings of fate and destiny. There, and also all of these moons in the background is like the phases of the moon, the cycles of life. There is a sense of like he's kind of tired and exhausted with all of these cycles and this learning and this healing, and it's been overwhelming for him, having to look deep within himself and try to acknowledge what is not working for him, what hurts him, what's challenging. It's a bit overwhelming right now, or it was an overwhelming journey and path. And right now that the waters are a bit calmer, he kind of feels like he needs a break to kind of take his mind off of those things that had him in an emotional turmoil of sorts, you know, a bunch of emotional distress. And now he wants to just relax his mind, because the Four of Swords, even though here it doesn't really seem that way, the Four of Swords talks about relaxation. It talks about taking a break, about resting. It is like trying to put your mind at ease and meditation. So currently, he could be doing that right now, finding ways to center himself again by calming his mind first, and then having the right discernment or the right state of mind, or being able to be in good judgment to figure out how to kind of put himself back together. But with the cups that he has right here, he has been feeling a bit emotionally overwhelmed, and I do feel that right now he doesn't feel that inspired, because I usually see the Page of Cups as someone that's very creative, someone that has a big imagination, and therefore is very inspired to start new things in their life. So also another thing that I'm getting is that he may not be open for romantic relationships. I think his heart could be a little bit closed off, like his walls are up, so his guard is very up. And I think that's because he's just in a state where he is focusing on himself and wants to take care of himself. So yeah, right now his heart is going through it. But let's go onto his career and see what's going on there. Like maybe that could be one of the things that he, usually when we see the current energy, this is pretty general, and when we go on with the reading, sometimes the theme continues or sometimes it changes. But I want to jump into his career to figure out like what's going on there and if it connects or if it doesn't. So what is going on with Shownu's career? The first card that we have is Violet with Tranquility, which is an air element. And we have New Moon in Cancer with You and Your Loved Ones Are Safe. And there was a card that stayed behind, I didn't even notice. It's a full moon in Aquarius will show the world the real you. So we do have a lot of blues and purples, a lot of cool colors for Shownu. So in his career, he kind of needs to, I'm getting two things. He needs to calm down, and also I feel that working is going to help him calm down. Like that feels kind of weird. Usually people don't think that they're relaxing when they're working, but maybe that sense of routine, it might bring him a peace of mind. But also here we have Pisces, we have Cancer and Aquarius. So I'm getting that March and February could be important months for him, or they were very important months for him. This candle makes me think that maybe taking baths and being surrounded by candles, or using a candle to work with fire as a form of healing could be important. I thought of something else, but I don't I don't want to talk about that. Um there is a sense of communication, so there could be something about connecting to his spirit guides could be essential and important. I guess the best way I can describe this is like allowing his spiritual team to carry the burdens that he feels are weighing him down at the moment, as we saw in his current energy. So like that he can just focus on doing something that makes him feel relaxed and makes him feel happier, which funnily enough, it seems like his career is something that brings him a sense of stability and relaxation. With you and your loved ones are safe, this new moon in Cancer is talking about a new beginning, because the new moon represents the beginning of a cycle. It represents a new chapter, starting something new. And with this Cancer card, it kind of shows that he right now feels very emotional. He feels like he has to be a strong support for his family, the people that care about him or the people that rely on him. With his Cancer energy, his walls are very high up. Like, he has clammed up a little bit more than usual. He feels very reserved, or he's keeping a lot to himself. Like, whoever is within his close circles are the only ones that really know what's going on with him. And even then, he's kind of hesitating a little bit. He doesn't really want to open up about what's bothering him in his career. So maybe only his family really knows that he's going through it and it's a bit rough. I think that the other people that care about him will sense that something's kind of off with him, but they will not really want to bother him, because they will prefer for Shownu to like open up and talk about it when he's ready. I don't really know what's bothering him per se, but I do feel that he really got off of his ground. Like, his stability and balance was thrown out the window, and he kind of felt like he was just going in the flow and swimming aimlessly in this endless abyss of nothingness and unknowns, and not really having a sense of direction. Like, he really lost himself somehow, and he's finding it kind of hard to root himself and ground himself again and feel comfortable or feel like himself or feel stable again. Like, he's finding that a bit challenging at the moment. But with full moon in Aquarius, we have show the world the real you. So in his career, he's been encouraged to be himself. He's encouraged to follow his intuition and even open his third eye. I'm saying that because of all the purple that we have right here. It's like opening his third eye to see things with clarity, seeing the situation for what it is, being able to understand situations in like the bigger picture of things. So instead of focusing so much on how things are not working out, or how he feels a little bit off balance, and how the present moment may feel a bit like directionless, is like open your third eye so you see this bigger picture and understand that this is temporary. It's not gonna last forever. It's just a transitional phase that feels a little bit challenging and overwhelming, but it's not gonna last forever. Like, eventually he will be able to get out of it, and when he gets out of it, he will have learned whatever it is that he had to learn in this period that it has been a bit tough for him. Also, with this blue right here, I'm thinking of the throat chakra. So I think in his career, with the work that he's doing, the people that he's working with, and the situations that he encounters, he will slowly be able to open up his throat chakra in such a way that he will feel like he can be honest with himself. He will be able to speak up again and like say what's going on with him. Like, I do feel like eventually he will talk to the people that care about him in his career and just kind of say like, this is what I went through, this was rough, this was challenging, this is what's going on, and kind of just clarify in a way what he may even need help with. I do feel that it's just gonna take a while. Also, another thing is that naturally he has shifted as a person, and he has changed into like this new version of himself, and I think he's finding it a bit difficult and challenging to physically transform or translate this energy, transmute even this new version of himself in this energy, because it's a bit foreign to him. Yeah, I guess he kind of needs to get to know himself again, and therefore show the real him in his career. But let's get more details what's going on with Shownu's career. The first card is the Ten of Swords reverse, and we have the Queen of Swords upright and the Death card reverse. I find it funny because, okay, Funny, not as in like hilarious, funny as interesting. So this Ten of Swords reverse is actually a very good card to have reverse. It kind of shows that right now Shownu is going to use his career not as a form of distraction from his healing, but as a form to take a break from all the healing that he has been doing within himself, take a break from the deep dives of understanding himself better, and actually work on something that he's familiar with, do something that he's used to, work in an environment that can help him just feel a bit more normal again. Also, the reason why his career can give him this sense of relaxation and kind of get his mind off of something that makes him feel very overwhelmed, we have the Queen of Swords. So in his career, he's gaining power to finally speak up about how he feels or get a sense of direction. Or there is a sense of, with his Queen of Swords, that again, Queen of Swords is Aquarius energy, which we saw earlier, but also there is a sense of like having the ability to use other people as mirrors. And what I mean by this is like by talking to anyone within his career, people will say things or talk about things in such a way that it will allow him to see what it is that he's finding kind of challenging or difficult to see within himself. So some of the things that I'm getting is that if someone is going through something in their life, maybe good or bad, by communicating with them and talking to them, Shownu will have a better idea of understanding what he himself is going through. If, for example, someone says that they're going through a rough time, and then he hears that and goes like, "Oh yeah, that's rough. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that?" Like if he gives them advice, if he were to listen to the advice that he's given, he will understand that if he were to follow that advice, he will also be able to solve whatever problem or challenge he's going through. So I do feel that one of the things that he may, a skill or talent that he may have that he may not be aware of, is that when he speaks aloud or he talks to either other people or thinks aloud, I guess is one way to phrase it, he is in a way channeling messages for himself. So when he's having a conversation to someone and he gives advice to them, those words that he's saying to that person, even though they were not meant for Shownu himself, they are very helpful to him. It's like he gets epiphanies when he's talking. Now with his death card reverse, this is Scorpio energy. The death card talks about death and rebirth. It talks about the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. What I'm talking about here is that one of the things that Shownu is going through in his career is that he's kind of postponing his, not postponing in a bad way, right? Like he's putting on hold his healing and his transformation so that he can put himself back together and ground himself enough to be able to, in a way, welcome with open arms this transformation, because it has been very challenging to reach this point of healing, and he's very, very close at finally like tipping the wheel of fortune in his favor and into something more beautiful and abundant. So he is a step away from transforming his pain and his hardships into a learning experience. But this death card reverse kind of shows that right now is not a really good moment for him to go through that rebirth type of moment, because he still needs some time to readjust his heart and his mind to stabilize it enough so that he's able to recognize the healing, or stabilize it enough to be able to take that next step necessary and be able to heal. So that's making me think of this Eight of Cups, like finally being able to say enough is enough, let me go into something better, let me leave this behind. And he could be leaving behind this feeling of pain. So again, his career is very good for him right now because it's going to help him center himself again. But let's look at his love life. What is going on with Shownu's love life? We have Lemon with cleansing. Okay, so I got, what is, I always forget the name of the artist. The song is called Lemon. He's a Japanese soloist. If I remember the lyrics, it's kind of talking about someone, like thinking of someone that left. The shadow of someone that left. So the memory of someone that's gone. So here we have Gemini energy, we have water energy, and with the lemon we have cleansing, which something that's kind of bittersweet. That's kind of what I'm getting. So his love life has been kind of tough, has been challenging. He's healing from it. I mentioned earlier, I forgot which card it was. I think it was the new moon in Cancer. He is going through a period, Shownu went through this period where his heart is kind of clamped up right now. He's closed off. Relationships, romantic ones, he's not available for. He's not open to them. There's still stuff that he's healing from the past. With that water energy, there's a lot of emotions, a lot of things that are subconsciously holding him back from opening up in a relationship. But hold up, let me take the other oracle. Yeah, mutable moon. Nothing is yet set in stone. So this card usually when I see the mutable moon card, I always get pissed because I see it and it's like I'm asking for some concrete idea of what's going on or what's happening or what's going to happen, and then you give me this card. It's so vague and it's all up in the air. Who knows what's going to happen? But for Shownu, it actually feels like it's like stay optimistic. Right now the waves are crashing and it may feel overwhelming. It may feel a bit difficult and tiresome, and it's like the same old chaos and the same problems. But I see this card right now and it feels almost hopeful, right? Like nothing's set on stone. It's kind of like he's clamping up his heart and he's not really opening himself to new options and to the new love life, or even like he doesn't even want to think about it. However, with this mutable moon, there is a chance that life is trying to encourage him and tell him that things will not always stay the same. There is hope out there for him to experience a beautiful romantic life. His love life is not doomed. Something good can come out of this. There's something out there for him that he can look forward to. This moon right here is making me think of the moon that we see in the Eight of Cups. Is like by walking away from this problem. By walking away, I'm not saying that he's walking away from like running away from his problems. I'm saying that he's actually making a conscious effort to say, I will not be in pain anymore, and healing. That's the type of walking away I'm talking about. And it's very challenging and difficult because I feel like my throat, it's not necessarily dry, but I feel like if I ate dust or something, it's just like, it's just stuck in there. It's a weird feeling. So yeah, I think it's difficult for him to admit that there's some situation that he kind of has to walk away from. Kind of not dwell in self-pity anymore and walk away. Something along this line. Again, it's very bittersweet. It's like leaving something behind can be difficult and challenging, but it will bring a lot of healing and it will leave room for something better out there. Again, what we saw in his current energy is coming up again in his love life. It's looking a bit different, but it's still present. It's something that he definitely has to work on himself, and it will help improve other areas of his life. Well, his career is going to help him find that balance again, but like working on himself will definitely help in his love life. But what's going on with his love life? You have the Six of Coins. Oh. Okay, and we have the Empress reverse and the Magician. This is actually very sweet. Okay. Okay. So with the Six of Coins, I do remember what the myth is about. Is this old lady that is left behind by her tribe because they're looking for a new place that has more food that they could hunt and stuff. When they leave her behind, the tribe or her family leaves her like this bugs that she can eat and survive while they're gone. So first of all, the message that came through is that in his love life, Shownu feels like he's been left behind. He feels like he's been left out in the cold. First of all, right? Now, the second thing is that with the Six of Coins, this lady, she goes like, life is tough. Why will I eat these bugs? Let me just let them free and have them live their own life. And when she sets them free, in return, the bugs help her out and make her be this beautiful young person again. And then the story ends with her marrying the bugs. But hey, it's a myth. It's just like a story. But what I'm trying to get at is that with Shownu, he feels like he was left behind. He feels like he's on his own now, that he has to fend for himself. However, because of the person that he naturally is, his good nature and his goodwill, it will pay off because he will just naturally help someone, or he will just he's just collecting good karma by being himself. Let me put it that way. Like, he's just doing his own thing and being himself, and life is like, you will be rewarded. Someone out there will help you, and we ourselves, like his spiritual team, is like, we will help you. We will make sure that you get rewarded for your kindness, that you will be compensated for your good nature, and even though, because we have the Empress reverse, it kind of shows that right now Shownu feels like he is not very abundant. He doesn't feel gifted. He doesn't feel like there's good things out there for him. Hold up, there's this little spider that has been bothering me. By the way, spiders could be significant for Shownu because I saw one on the wall the whole time that I was talking about his current energy, and then on the wall over here, like over here, next to me, I saw like a little one. I was like, I'm gonna kill that one. I can reach that one right now that I'm here. So spiders could be significant for him. Again, with the Empress reverse, his confidence is a little bit on the download. He doesn't feel that confident. He doesn't feel that good. He doesn't feel like he can manifest things on his own. Like he feels like he's not lucky. He feels like his hard work is not going to pay off. And I know this is in his love life, but self-love could be an issue for him right now. Like he doesn't feel that confident in his skills, in himself, and his ability to do things. And also the Empress is Venus energy, so he needs to work on loving himself. So I'm gonna take the rose quartz out here for him, a stone that can definitely help him with that. Boom. We're gonna put it right there, so eventually the Empress energy comes up and he can like nurture himself and love himself and take care of himself and finally bring himself back to that confidence again, right? So he may have gone through something in his love life, like a romantic relationship that really threw him like down a rabbit hole and made him go through something very tough and very challenging. And that's why the Empress is reversed. Like now he's finding it very difficult to manifest his dreams and make them real. He's finding it very difficult to even deal with himself because he feels like he's always lacking something. He doesn't feel abundant. Because the Empress is supposed to talk about fertility. So someone that has the mentality, space, and abilities to manifest anything and make anything happen, right? However, we have the Magician. So I do feel that his fairy godmother is going to come out there and help him out. Give him a blessing, give him a sign, give him an opportunity or a situation where he can see that magic is possible and dreams are true and dreams can be real and things along the lines. Because with the Magician, here we're talking about the fairy godmother and we're talking about Cinderella. So I was thinking like, yeah, this kind of feels like Cinderella. Someone that feels like they're being left on the cold, they're on their own, and then, they feel like they can't make their dreams come true, but then like an external source comes out there and like helps her out and makes her dream come true by allowing her to attend this opportunity that is being offered to her and extended to her. Like one situation opens this opportunity that brings a bunch of blessings in, and I think that's what's going to happen for Shownu. And even though this could be in a romantic sense, I do feel that this situation or this opportunity that comes through for him is just something that will make him feel loved and cared for by the universe. So he feels like he doesn't have to do everything on his own. And also I noticed that the way that I put the cards, it almost feels like it's a ladder going up, a ladder or stairs going up. So I do feel like he's just eventually going to like take off and succeed and feel confident and happy again. Now, let's go on to the healing messages, which I've been talking about healing the whole time in his reading. However, let's go to his healing messages because in the oracle that I use, which is this one, is the Spirit Animal Oracle. And I wanted to take out the spider because I mentioned the spiders could be significant for him. And here in the Spider Spirit, we have Make Your Dreams Real, which I think this is essential for him. I usually see spiders as like networking or soul tribe connections and soul families. So I do feel that one of the ways that he could heal is by connecting with people that he feels comfortable with, people that he genuinely feels like he just vibes with and connects with in a level that cannot be understood by others. The spider spirit is telling him that his dreams will come true and will be real, and all he has to do is just work with other people and be open to work with others. It's allowing himself to also work with his spiritual team. So I think he's been encouraged a lot to open his third eye and connect to his spiritual team because they will allow him to see things in a different perspective. It will allow him to know what's going on behind the scenes. And it will also give him the subconscious messages that sometimes he cannot reach within the depths of himself because he's finding it very challenging to heal from an emotional overwhelming situation, and that will allow him to kind of get like a heads up or a warning or an understanding of what's going on. So like if he were to connect to his spiritual team, he'll have an understanding that what he's going through right now is not a punishment, is not just challenges after challenges after challenges, it's a healing experience. It's a cycle that he had to go through, so he will be able to actually break free from it and overcome something that was actually a recurring thing for him. But let's actually get his healing messages. Just 2 more cards because this video is quite lengthy, but as long as this message somehow reaches him, I hope he's able to do the healing necessary for him to be happy again. So we have the parrot spirit reverse with watch your words. In this one, I don't think it means watch your words because, you know, you can get in trouble with other people. I do feel that this is kind of like if Shownu paid attention to the way that he speaks to himself in his head, he'll have an idea of what the problem is. So I'm getting a couple messages. So one, again, by communicating to others, the advice that he gives to others is an advice that he should be giving to himself and that he should listen to and follow. The other thing I'm getting with watch your words is trying to be a lot more gentle with himself and not being so harsh with himself. So he's been going through a healing process that at this point he could be so tired of and so like done with, that life is telling him to be patient with himself and not rush this process. It's going to take the time that it needs to take. He doesn't have to just be okay. It's okay with needing a break. It's okay if he needs some time off. Like, it's fine. He should take the time that he needs for this. It doesn't really get in the way of his work because actually working makes him feel comfortable and brings him back to the self that he remembers, right? So it doesn't really get in the way of the work that helps with his survival. So as long as he gives himself the time that he needs whenever he can find it, he just needs to slow down a little bit. So yeah, also with watch your words, I'm getting that the universe wants to make sure that he doesn't put himself down anymore. So again, if he makes a mistake, life wants him to encourage himself to do better, but not pressure himself to not make those mistakes or like punish himself for making them, you know? That kind of feeling. And one last card for Shownu's healing messages. We have the dog spirit with be loyal to what you love. So with this card, I'm getting a sense of, again, being gentle, being friendly, being kind, but to himself. It's like, be understanding to himself. Also with the dog spirit, I'm getting this sense of pets could be helpful to him to kind of soothe his energy and his stress. Not necessarily that he should get a pet, but if he knows someone that has a dog, or if he were to go to like a dog shelter or a cat shelter or maybe a cat cafe or something that has like fluffy, cute animals that he can just like hug or pet, that could definitely help him calm and relax a little bit. I don't even know if he likes animals, but that's something that came up. But also with the be loyal to what you love, simple, right? The advice is right now, do what you enjoy, do what you like, do what makes you happy, so that you can slowly come back to the sense of power and confidence and be this empress again. So the empress I mentioned is Venus energy, and Venus energy does talk about indulging in the luxuries of life, maybe music, maybe beauty, entertainment, love, those kind of things, right? So I'm saying that because this kind of goes back to his career, how his career brings him this relaxation and tranquility that right now he desperately needs. So in a way, life is saying, if you love your work, go for it, do it. It will help you find that stability that you really need right now, and it will help you get that break that you so desperately need from your healing. So again, the advice, do what you love, do what makes you happy, be gentle and careful with yourself, and with all of that, you will realize that you can make your dreams come true. As long as he works with other people as well. If he needs it, he should just go for it and ask for help. So, I will leave it there. I hope you guys liked this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure that you send a lot of love and healing to Shownu, just hoping that he does well, that he finds the right people that beautiful and caring and loving words reach him. Just that in its own will be enough to bring him the healing necessary. Like, wishing well for someone will make it for life in the universe to help that person out. You're getting all of these beautiful vibes from everyone out there that cares for you. We will make sure that the energy that those people are sending off reaches that person. So in this case, it will be Shownu. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever that is, however that is. I really, really do hope that things turn out better for him. I do feel that we just continuing to work will eventually lead him to be back to who he wants to be. And he is entering the new phase in his life that has required a lot of healing, but he's reaching this new chapter with beautiful grace. I don't know why grace was the word that came up, right? That he's gracefully transforming into this mature new version of himself. Anyway, love and healing from my part to you. I'll see you in the next one, whenever that is, however that is, and bye.